Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks Plays KSP. This is episode 14 of our Interplanetary Voyage Series 2. And we have some new recruits. We have Matthew Kerman, and he is a scientist. So he will be joining our crew of Kerbals. Okay, so as you can tell, the Duna launch window is upon us. Meaning we have many ships to launch within this window to Duna. And the first one is our SpaceDock. Just to remind you, SpaceDock has been launched long ago. I will put the episode when I have launched it in the card, which you should see now. And then the purpose of its launching is to basically provide the bottom component of our Duna orbital station, where we would be able to dock our two shuttles, the Voyager and Discovery. Okay, so in previous episode we have already launched our SSTI Horus on its merry way to Duna, and in this episode we will be launching the rest of the fleet. So we have a total of two rover ships, and I believe one more, but I'll come to that shortly. Anyway, setting up a maneuver node. It will be 1040-ish. meters per second. We have 3,500, which is more than enough. So yeah, setting up the maneuver node, making sure that everything is proper. Fiddling a little bit with it until I get the proper encounter. Yeah, somewhere along these lines I think it will be fine. Let's see if we can fix it a little bit more. And now, hold on, and a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. I'm perfectly aware that I won't be able to make nearly as accurate burn, but then again, okay, I think that's good enough, so let us simply do what we need to do, which is point the craft maneuver prograde and then wait for the burn. As simple as that. Sorry, my laptop stand was squeaking a little bit. Okay, a total of 23 minutes until the burn. We have positioned our craft correctly, so no big surprises. We can just fast forward until the burn itself. So our SpaceDock is the first one to go. Okay, yes, thank you for the alert, Kerbal alarm clock. I really don't know, guys, how I could live without Kerbal alarm clock. Literally. Three, two, one, and burn. Got carried away a little bit there. Doesn't really matter. This is not a big burn and our engine is powerful enough. So it's a matter of seconds rather than minutes. If you remember, with our SSTO Horus, the burn took much longer because, well, the engines of Horus prefer fuel economy rather than raw thrust, although they are somewhat configurable to allow for a little bit of wiggle room here and there, which I find actually very convenient for an SSTO, don't get me wrong. So, okay, trying to fiddle a little bit. Ooh, wrong way. And usually when I come here I turn on the RCS, and then I use RCS to actually do the little bit of fiddle. I'm pretty happy with that, so no really that major issues, it's just a matter of burning in the right place. I'm pretty happy with that. I will be correcting all of these approaches anyway when we will be coming closer to Duna, so yeah. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, you're done. Moving on, the second ship that we plan to fly out of the orbit will be our popsicle ship. We have John Kerman on the helm, and we have Zaidin Kerman as the first Kerbal popsicle. Okay, so a little bit of texture glitching here and there, but no major issues apart from that, so I just plan to set up a maneuver node and then execute it in the pretty much same fashion as I did previously, so yes. Trying to find where Duna is. Okay. Let's add a maneuver node just to have to figure out at what angle. Now, these two ships will contain rovers and landers. So the idea is to, well, basically land them almost together and just arrive as close as possible, and then use the rover to perform its mission, and then later on leave the rover on the future base site and just use the lander to get back to orbit. And who knows, maybe even all the way back to Kerbal. I mean, the lander should have enough delta V to fly all the way back to Kerbal and, you know, land. Now, that being said, let us play with the maneuver node until we get a second encounter. We are already around Duna, so that's pretty fine. And I always plan my maneuver nodes very, very accurately. The only downside is when it comes to executing them, I goof up royally. And I have to plan for equatorial passes for all of these ships because we want to be landing near our future base site, which would be very near to the carbonite miner. Because we have one rover there, and we want to have 2 more rovers there, and maybe later on even our SST, well, not the SSTI, but the Discovery would be landing there. I'm hoping. Although I have no idea how to pull that one off. Coasting until the maneuver node, which will happen in some 16 minutes. John, how are you feeling, buddy? Okay, 14 minutes and counting. This is exciting. So, 7 minutes, a little bit more of time acceleration. We have our Kerbal alarm clock that will of course remind me. 1044 to burn, and we have a total of 3.2 thousand. So I'm not overly concerned. 1.5 thousand we have alone for the stage there, so yeah. We're golden. Okay, and kicking the gas right on the mark. Beautiful screeny over here. I like the fact that for a change I'm using a little bit more powerful engines to get places, because you know, waiting sometimes kills the mood. Okay, great. 500 meters per second to burn. Overall, our Duna Transfer so far have been progressing pretty smoothly. No major surprises, which is a good thing for a change, so yeah. Okay, and we have... oh, and there we go. RCS on, and let's see if we can fix it a little bit. Okay, first here, and then let's see. How can I make that better? No, wrong way. Okay. And now I'm experimenting with different RCS directions of thrust or translational thrust until I find the one that suits me the best, because I'm just monitoring my apoapsis or periapsis and see if it will decrease around Duna, of course. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that one, so let's just turn off the RCS and let's head over to our next ship. Or not. Okay, right. The next ship to go will be, I guess, the Duna Tanker Lander, which is exactly the same copy of this ship that I've just launched. The first one, which one was piloted by John, is actually the Science Lander, while this one, piloted by Wilhuff Tarkin Kerman, one of our recent hires, is actually a tanker rover. And the purpose of it is to pick up the fuel from the carbonite miner and then resupply to various either landers or other ships in the vicinity that are supposed to basically use fuel. And for transferring fuel, we will be using the Kerbal attachment system pipes. So yeah. Assuming everything goes well, of course. And that's usually in my playthroughs one hell of a big if. Once again copying the parameters from the maneuver node, and then we have, okay, we already have a Duna encounter, so let's just see that we get it as good as it can be, basically. Okay, well, this looks pretty good. I mean, who am I kidding? It looks amazing. Okay, Then once again pointing our rocket in the right direction and igniting the match on the Acme rocket. Wilhuff, I hope you have strapped your safety belt. Jeez, what's wrong with me today? Safety belt. And the burn will be coming in roughly 30-ish minutes, so that's basically almost one full orbit around Kerbal. Sunrise. "15 minutes as we are approaching our burning time. "9 minutes, and fortunately enough, oh sorry, not 9, 3 minutes. And it's good thing that we are using rhinos, it really makes the burns short. Granted, you don't get that much delta V, but this, apart from the lander, the rest of the ship is going one way only anyway. So I don't guess I need to be worried that much. Okay. 600 meters to burn, 500 meters to burn, and some 25 seconds, so nothing really major. 300 meters per second. And I guess Wilhuff Tarkin, you will be also going to Duna, buddy. Okay. Definitely going out of the Kerbal sphere of influence, and now let's just burn very carefully until we once again get the Duna encounter. And come on. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and there it is. Come closer. Okay. Ooh, this one will be really close. Oh, and I actually like it like that even more, because then I can just fix the inclination, and there we go. So I might not even decide to push on further. Looks great, I think. I will be definitely checking off that periapsis. Maybe I can reduce it a little bit. Okay, stop with GrunfWorks, now you're just becoming greedy. Hell yeah. Wow. Well, if I really managed to pass that close, that would just be amazing. Right. Okay, well, I don't think we can get a better maneuver node or better approach than this. Perfect. That takes care of our 3 ships that are supposed to be going to Duna. And I believe we can just sit back and enjoy and relax while our ships do transition the Kerbal sphere of influence into the Sol. We can enjoy and appreciate the view as Wilhuff Tarkin leaves Kerbal. Beautiful view. Okay. And let's see if we can switch to another craft, which I actually very much like watching. And that's the Spaceplane SSTI Horus. That one is actually, well, since it's an SSTO, it looks very cool. Sure. Okay. G. Kerman and Maxted Kerman. I guess you two guys are enjoying the ride in our SSTI. Okay. Let us appreciate the view as the Kerbal slides out of view. And we also have to make the transitions because I'm always worried when I'm transitioning the sphere of influence that my physics will mess up my approach, and then that in the end I will need to be executing a lot of correction burns. So okay, transfer point, yeah, kill that, and we have a total of 3 days until we have to transition the Kerbal sphere of influence. So let's kick the time acceleration, and we can see Moon and Minmus dancing around Kerbal. Okay, we are coming close on the transition of the sphere of influence. Basically, the reason why I'm showing the sphere of influence changes is I want to confirm that even after transitioning the sphere of influence, I still have an encounter with Duna. I mean, otherwise, if I don't have it, it won't show on my Kerbal alarm clock, and it wouldn't be the first time that I have actually completely missed the encounter. So that's something that I really want to avoid. Okay, seems like we do have an encounter with Duna, which is great. Okay, then accelerating to the next one. Duna Tanker Lander. You, despite being launched the last, you are actually coming in a close second, so let us jump to the ship. Okay, let's take you through the transition, buddy. 3, 2, 1, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and cutting it a little bit close, but in 10 seconds we will know if our transfer window was successful. And by the way, guys, I know you can put more patched conics ahead, but this keeps a feeling of suspense, you know? Okay. Did we or did we not transition it? I'm not entirely sure. But I think we did, but I just didn't see it well. So, the next one to happen is our SpaceDock. Let's jump to that one. Oh, this is beautiful close-up. I am really appreciating it, thank you. Okay, you have 14 minutes, so let's get on cracking. 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 5, 3, 2, and coming ever so closer to the sphere of influence change. Let's unzoom, see that we get an encounter with Duna afterwards. We do. Beautiful. Okay, and that leaves us with the final ship to make the transfer, which is the Duna Lander. After what I think I will be calling it for the episode, because the next that comes in content is a little bit different, so I prefer to keep them thematically separated. Okay, let us execute the Duna Lander, the science one piloted by John Kerman. Okay, so John buddy, let me see if we can get you through the transition of the sphere of influence. Just kick the gas. I mean, the aircraft is, or spacecraft is already going in the right direction. Okay, and as soon as we confirm that you have gotten a successful transfer, I will bid you all farewell. So, Like if you like the episode, hit subscribe for more KSP content that will be very soon, and until next episode, thank you very much for watching.